Hey, all right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the sincere apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who are my teachers. And peace and salutations to you brothers out there preaching this word in truth and sincerity. This is the brother Yahweh Sap with another lesson. And today, man, just another addition to your daily motivation. Just encouraging you brothers and your sisters to continue in your faith and to continue to stay on your grind, man, because we see that the signs are coming to pass. And we know that Yahweh Shai's return is imminent. And so with that being said, the title of this one is Daily Motivation, Just Watch. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, and I have the definition of watch here in the etymology, which means keep watch, be awake. All right, that's important, man, that we stay awake, we don't fall asleep. All right, we don't fall back into the ways of this world. If we're into our wicked ways, all right, we don't fall back into iniquity. All right, it says to be strong. All right, be lively. All right, be or remain awake, meaning be vigilant. That of to guard someone or some place, stand guard, to observe, keep under observance. All right, watch, noun, a watching state or of being or remaining awake, wakefulness, act or practice of refraining from sleep for devotional or penitential purposes. Keep watch, be awake. So the gist is, man, you pretty much, you stay on your watch, man. You stay on your grind. You stay looking out for the signs, all right, and the things that are to come. All right, measuring the time diligently, as it says in 2nd Ezra 8, and as it says in Sirach 39, he that giveth to his mind to the law of the Heavenly Father is occupied in prophecies. All right, and so I wanted to go into some news and some prophecy. All right, get into things that are happening in the world. All right, and line it up with the scriptures. All right, because we see that once again, we see that prophecies have been coming to pass, man, and we're waiting for the main prophecy talking about the mark of the beast spoken about in Revelation 13. All right, and we're waiting for that third woe, all right, which we see is on the horizon, man. It's at the door. And so now that we know the definition of watch, man, I want to grab the book of St. Mark, chapter 13, and I'm going to start at I'm going to get right to the point in verse 35, and it says, well, matter of fact, I'm going to start a little bit up at 32. It says, but of that day and that hour knoweth no man. What day? The day of judgment, man. The day that Yahweh Shai returns. The day that all hell breaks loose. All right. And judgment is pronounced upon the planet Earth against America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great. All right. And our people, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians, man, because we know that the day of Jacob's trouble is at hand. All right. We know that the kingdom of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is at hand. All right. And so the only thing is we don't know the exact time frame, that it's going to come to pass. We just know the signs that we were told to look out for, and we've seen those signs. And so it says, reading that again, Mark 13 and verse 32, but of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. And so that's right. We watch and we pray, and we warn our people of the judgment that's to come. All right. And the only way we can warn someone, all right, is if we're awake. All right. If we're maintaining our watch. All right. Like it says in the book of Ezekiel. All right. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai made us a watchman unto the house of Israel. And so it says, verse 34, for the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Now, what is a porter? All right, let's look this up real quick. What is a porter? It's lucky. A person employed to carry luggage and other loads, especially in a railroad station, airport, or hotel. Let's see. A person employed to carry supplies on a mountaineering expedition, an attendant in a railroad sleeping car or parlor car, an employee in charge of the entrance of a hotel, apartment complex, or other large buildings. So pretty much, we were made the doorkeepers of the Heavenly Father's kingdom, man. And we have to warn people, we're pretty much going out bidding the elect to the marriage, and then warning people to stay vigilant, man, to stay awake. And so I actually wanted to grab this in the etymology as well. Salakia, I feel like that maybe wasn't a good enough definition. Let's see. Person who carries, especially one who carries burdens or runs errands for hire. Ooh, yeah, a lot better. Carrier, one who carries. So we're carrying what? We're carrying on this message, man, to lead, pass over. One who has charge of a door or gate. One who guards the gate of a bridge. And so we have to know, if we're being in charge of this gate, we're being in charge of this door. All right, and we're made the porter of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai's house, man. We have to know what's coming in. We have to know what's going out. All right, we have to know what's happening around the house. All right, we have to make sure if there's any anything that we need to warn people of. We're on our watch, man. So just referring back to Ezekiel, we're made watchmen, and so. Continuing in Mark 13 and verse 35, watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at even, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. And so we have to be vigilant, all right, because we know our adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, is walking about whom he may devour, which is actually my next precept. But before I move on to that, man, I want to get into a couple of news articles. I actually also have a short clip that I want to play for you. All right. And it's important, man, because if you end up falling asleep during your time of watching, and something happens, then the people who you were supposed to be watching over, the people who you were supposed to warn, now their blood ultimately is on your hands, man. And you don't want to be responsible for other men's what's it called, carelessness. All right, you don't want to be responsible for other men's mistakes, and so you do your best to stay on your guard, man, to stay on your watch. And so with my first article I want to grab is going to be here. A brother had actually sent this into the chat, and let me grab it. I don't know why it does this. But Germany to move toward independence from U.S., new leader says. And so we know this is the beast starting to hate the war, man. And through the spirit, we see that all these policies that Trump has been putting into play. He's been signing all these executive orders. All right, he's been cracking down on the U.S. government, man, and he's been very prideful, man, and threatening countries. All right, and now these countries, they're learning, like, hey, look, we can't depend on America forever. Because then they go and they do things like that. They threaten us, tell us we don't do this, then this is going to happen. So now we're starting to see that these nations, they're wanting to move away from America, which is actually in prophecy. So it says before the final votes in Germany's election were even counted, Friedrich Merz, if I said that correctly, the leader of the center-right Christian Democratic Union Party, who is set to become the next chancellor, promised a major shift in relations with the U.S. In a post-election debate, he promised to confront head-on a new reality that the Trump administration looks to overturn about 80 years of policy and raises the prospect of abandoning security guarantees for Europe. My absolute priority will be to strengthen Europe as quickly as possible so that, step by step, we can really achieve independence from the USA, Merz said Sunday. It says more, a closer look at Trump's years of criticizing NATO, particularly on defense spending. Merz added, I never thought I would have to say something like this on a television program, but after Donald Trump's statements last week at the latest, it is clear that the Americans, at least this part of the Americans, this administration, are largely indifferent to the fate of Europe. Merz's conservative CDU party emerged as the largest party in Germany's parliament, the Bundestag, with 28.6% of the vote. The SPD, the party of the incumbent Chancellor Olaf Scholz came in third place. Trump and members of his administrations have called over the years for U.S. allies to invest more in NATO and for Europe to take responsibility for its own security. However, we've also made it clear for years, decades even, that it is unacceptable that the United States and the United States taxpayer continues to bear the burden not only of the cost of the war in Ukraine, but of the defense of Europe. Mike Waltz, Trump's national security advisor, said last week. He added, "We fully support our NATO allies. We fully support the Article 5 commitment, but it's time for our European allies to step up." Merz also talked about NATO, suggesting there may even be need to replace the military alliance with a new European security structure. "I am very curious to see how we are heading toward the NATO summit at the end of June," he said, "whether we will still be talking about NATO in its current form or whether we will have to establish an independent European defense capability much more quickly." And so, we know that this is all according to prophecy, man, that the Lord, he was the one that had it in these different countries' hearts, all right, to do the will of Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, all right, especially the American Edomite man, all right. But now these things are starting to be removed. So the book of Revelation, chapter 17, and verse, I'm gonna start at verse 3. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 12. "And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings," which we know the 10 horns is representing NATO. It says, "which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast," which is why they had so much pull, because ultimately they were in league with America. All right, and so it says, "These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast." They were given their resources. All right, they were given military might. You know, they were sending their armies to fight with America's armies. They allowed Americas to settle in to place some military bases there. All right, you know, they were in league with that. All right, and so it says in verse 14, "These shall make war with the Lamb, who is Yahushai, and the Lamb shall overcome them." And that's right, because they're going to be broken. They're going to be broken down. All right, they're all going to be fighting against each other. All right, and then once they see Yahushai return, then they're going to make war with him. But ultimately, as we're reading, the Lamb is going to overcome them. "For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful." We're talking about the elect. In verse 15, "And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are people and multitudes and nations and tongues." And we see that America is full with all manner of different nations. It says, verse 16, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire," because ultimately they're gonna disagree with America at some point in time, which we see that disagreement. There's a wedge already being put between America and these different nations by way of these tariffs. All right, by way of America's support for Gaza. All right, and then now, especially with America telling these European nations that they need to have more money, you know, they need to provide more military defense for themselves. And then on top of that, you have Trump telling them that they need, I believe they have like 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, to come up with the surrender game plan for Ukraine, which for 3 years, you know, they've been talking about not surrendering Ukraine, you know. So a lot of wishy-washy stuff is going on with Esau. So now these different nations are like, hey, we really can't depend on America, and really with all these tariffs, all right, we gotta find a way to be independent from them. And now they're starting to, you got the Ukrainian soldiers that were burning, They were burning the American like flag sticker. They were taking it off their helmets and then burning it. So they're starting to hate the horse. So anyways, continuing in Revelation 17 and verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For the Most High Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And so we know that they were only going to be in league with America until the words of Yahweh by Hashem Al Shai are being fulfilled. And we're seeing that time being fulfilled right now, just based off of this, right here. This is prophecy we seen unfolding right before our eyes. All right. And so from here, which Adawan Radazai, remember, I'm going to post the link of these articles in the description. All right. Because I don't want to make this too long. I'm not too sure how much storage I got. So the next one I want to get into is just going into the chip and how how Esau is moving over to a digital AI world. All right, and this is all planned out, man. And so before I grab this, let me grab this, the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Well, I'm actually going to start at verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time. And we humble ourselves because we know, that one, we are in debt to the Heavenly Father because we have sinned against him. And two, all right, we have no control over anything, man. We have no army. We have no government. All right, the only thing that we have, or the only one that we have, should I say, is the Heavenly Father Yahweh through his Son Yahweh Shai, that is going to save us in his time. All right, and so we humble ourselves, knowing that we cannot deliver ourselves, but we have to wait upon him. All right, so it says in verse 7, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. And the way to remain the way to cast all your care upon him and remain in that way is to study, man, is to read, to be on your grind, to watch. All right, because if you're not watching and you're not paying attention, you yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night. All right, and so it says, verse 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So we resist the devil by being what? Steadfast in our faith. All right, because we see, pertaining to this article, all right, that they're looking to move everything and everyone into a digital world, man. And so it says, humanoid robots are on the march. Here are some of the most eyebrow-raising demo videos out there right now. AI has triggered rapid advancements in the world of robotics. Companies are developing humanoid robots that can do chores or provide intimacy. Here are some of the most eye-popping videos showing that these new robots can what these new robots can do. And so you got these robots, man, that are being created, and what they really they want these robots to replace you people, man. All right, because they want you people on a UBI system, depending on the Beast system, which is going to be implemented through way of the RFID hit, man. All right, which we're about to get into as well. But let's play one of these videos real quick, just showing you the things that they can do. So like, yeah, you put some skin on that robot, hey, you're gonna think he's a person. And they're doing some crazy, they're looking into some crazy things, man. Which you're soon gonna find out, man. I don't want to really it's edifying. Look, it says Optimus can locate and navigate. Salaki. It's kind of describing it. I'll read it so you can see. Salaki, I was reading over it. Talking about Optimus's walk has become more confident. It can now explore unseen spaces autonomously, avoiding people and obstacles using neural nets, all while capturing visual cues specific to its environment. Together, multiple bots build a shared understanding of their surroundings, which they can later tap into for navigation. Optimus can locate locate and navigate to the nearest charging station, dock itself precisely using its rear camera only, and head back to work later on. It can now also pick up significant payloads such as a 11-kilogram battery and carry it around autonomously without overheating. Optimus is also now venturing on non-flat terrain. Look at that, he's climbing stairs. We've trained its AI to interact with people and hand out different items upon request. Check that out, man. These new skills are all learned by a single neural net, also running in real time on Optimus's embedded system. So there you go, man. You know, that's just one example of where this world is moving to, man. You had Klaus Schwab talk about a fourth industrial revolution, which is ultimately what moving everybody over to what is it, technocracy? If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember the exact word. Pretty much they're mixing. You know, they want to become part of technology itself. I can't remember the word, Salakia. You know, but hey, you got robots having interviews. The robot is built with over 1,000 artificial muscles called myofibers that use mesh tubes filled with air to make the robot contract and move. Video posted by the company shows. Salakia, that's an alarm. It says video posted by the company shows a robot swinging its legs back and forth while clenching and unclenching its fist. Another Silicon Valley robotics company, 1X Robotics, shared a video showing that it would look like to have a humanoid robot inside your home. So let's check out what this would look like. Look at this, man. This is the world that they're moving to.
How's this? Perfect.
Carrying in your groceries, cleaning up your house for you, placing your keys, chilling on your couch. Man, this is what we're moving to, man. You know, so it's important to remain vigilant, man, knowing that this is not, you know, you may think it's a conspiracy theory all you want, but you're seeing it happen right before your eyes, man. Different companies working on this, working on AI, working on cryptocurrency, working on moving everyone over to a digitalized platform. All right, and so from here, I want to grab, I actually have this video that I want to grab for you here. All right, just going to show you how well, a couple of clips, but it goes to show you how far America has fallen, how far people have fallen. It goes to show you the time and place that we're in. You know, everything that we're seeing is happening according to prophecy. All right, and so us seeing these signs is a signification of us being saved. All right, and so I want to show you this short. It's like 2 minutes of this video right here.
You'll be back. Emus can't help people customize
right, and this
and
just
save
goes
Liberty
to show
Mutual.
the folly of America, the folly of the people nowadays, man.
Well, I'll be.
How far everyone is falling.
Liberty, liberty,
All right.
liberty, liberty.
The number
It's
one
like it's
movie
not
in
that much
America
good.
2 weeks in a row is also the biggest.
The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are all full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. Charles Bukowski.
I started an OnlyFans.
I heard you made $1 million in a day.
We choose truth over facts.
Changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. What a beautiful name.
One of the things you did, slept with 1,000 men, but also barely legal, 18 years old. Huh?
Yeah.
Sure? Yeah. Maybe that was a little too hard.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck to it. Spit on that thing.
You should see how afraid of Trump I am.
Elon Musk has adopted the alias Harry Balls.
Fartcoin has just passed Bitcoin and XRP.
And ice cold, but why so good?
Don't walk around with a sword. That's what they want you to do.
Donald Trump has unveiled a new cryptocurrency.
That stands at a $13 billion market cap.
Yeah. Hey, you see this world is crazy, man. You know, it's all full of folly. It's all full of wickedness, man. All right, and we see that, you know, Esau, he's gonna have to come with something. All right, he's gonna have to come in a way that's gonna get these people to take that chip. And how is that gonna happen? By way of forced what's it called? Pretty much through the affliction that they're about to bring upon the people. You know, they're gonna be forced to take that chip, man, with all these jobs that are being lost. All right, with people unable to pay their bills. All right, with the folly that's taking place, they're gonna need something to ground them. All right, they're gonna need some form of comfort, which is Esau is gonna use that to usher in his NWO, which ultimately contains that RFID chip, all right, or the Neuralink, which is spoken about in Revelation 13 and identified as the MOTB, the mark of the beast. All right, and so this is the book of Psalms chapter 141 and verse 9. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity. And that's right. We want to be kept from the snares which these devils have laid from us, man. It says, verse 10, let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst that I withal escape. And so we want to escape. All right, but you're only going to be able to escape a snare that's laid for you if you see where it was laid. Where it was laid down. If you're watching, if you're awake and you're seeing the things that are happening around you, you know, you see, oh, okay, man, I got my enemies surrounding me. You know, they're in the bushes, they're laying traps, you know, trying to get me caught up. You know, and you pray into the Heavenly Father to deliver you, and then he opens up a path of escape. Well, that's what's going to happen, man. Yahweh Shai is going to be that path to escape, you know, as it says in John 14:6. All right, I'll go ahead and just grab it, man. St. John chapter 14 and verse 6. Yahweh Shai saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So this is the only way that we're going to be able to escape. And what did Yahweh Shai command us to do? To watch. Be sober, man. Hey, to stay warning the sheep. You know, like he told Peter, you know, feed my sheep. If thou lovest me, feed my sheep. And so, Salakia, I actually want to grab. I have a couple of more articles here. This is something I spoke on earlier. Trump gave Europe 3 weeks to sign off on Ukraine's surrender. All right. So this is one of the first articles I want to grab. Just going into how Trump is, I believe through the Spirit, man, that Trump is going to be the one to usher it in, man, because everything that we're seeing is leading unto the MOTB. So the title of this one, posted by The Guardian: Crypto and Big Tech's backing pays off as Trump makes tech-friendly moves. It says the millions that U.S. tech companies invested in currying favor with Donald Trump seem to pay off this week as the new administration issued a flurry of directives that relaxed regulations and dropped lawsuits previously aimed at holding the industry to account. Crypto, AI, and social media companies, many of which made donations to Trump, are all expecting to benefit. And why is that? Why all of a sudden are they moving to a digital? Why are they wanting you to have more AI? Why are they wanting to have more crypto? Why are they easing up on these companies? Well, we're telling you why. Because they want to implement that digital platform, man. They want to be able to see everything that you're thinking, everything that you're doing. All right, and you may think, you know, y'all, what's up? You know, this is far-fetched. This is something that they wouldn't do. You know, they couldn't do that. they wouldn't be able to know what we're thinking or see what we're seeing. There's no way. Well, which I'll post this article in the description, man. I didn't want to read too much on it. I actually wanted to use this one as a segue into this patent, all right, that I was looking into. And it's once it pulls up, you're gonna see why this is important, man, because everything that the devil is doing, first and foremost, was set up from the beginning by the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. All right, and second, Esau had already had this planned out as well. Since really the beginning, since the creation of America, the Most High put it on his spirit to do everything that he's doing to work up until this moment. And so this patent, W020200600606, cryptocurrency system using body activity data. So it's just interesting that it has 666 in there. And this is concerning cryptocurrency. So pretty much, and yeah, I'll definitely post this in the description as well. That way you brothers and your sisters can take a look for yourself. Because it is, if you're not looking at the drawings and whatnot, the description of it and everything that's about it. Oh, and this also, the patent family, guess who is backing it? When you look at the applicant, it's Microsoft Technology Licensing LLC. So this is backed, by Bill Gates, by Gil Bates. All right. And it actually, you say his name, man, he's going to know. All right. Because he has people that are constantly on the lookout for anyone that mentions his name, searches his name. All right. It all comes back to him. Anyways, so what this is, so the background, I'm just going to read the summaries for you. Because it pretty much explains what this is. All right, why the cryptocurrency system using body activity data. What does that mean? Well, we're about to get into it. So the summary: some exemplary embodiments of the present disclosure may use human body activity associated with a task provided to a user as a solution to mining challenges in cryptocurrency systems. So pretty much, what this is explaining is that it's going to use what you're doing throughout the day, your body, your human body activity, what you're doing, how the facial expressions you make. All right, they're going to be using that, all right, to determine whether you're going to get paid or not, determine whether you're privileged to buy stuff at the store. They're going to use all this to determine whether pretty much you're able to live in the society or not. All right, this is what it's leading to. And so it says, for example, a brain wave or body heat emitted from the user when the user performs a task provided by an information or service provider, such as viewing advertisement or using certain internet services, can be used in the mining process instead of massive computation work required by some conventional cryptocurrency systems. Data generated based on the body activity of the user can be a proof of work, and therefore a user can solve the computationally difficult problem unconsciously. So this is going to be happening in the background of you working whatever task you're designated to do or to complete. It's gonna determine if you gain that cryptocurrency or not. In the background, it's going to be happening subconsciously. It says, accordingly, certain exemplary embodiments of the present disclosure may reduce computational energy for the mining process as well as make the mining process faster. Systems, methods, and hardware aspects of computer-readable storage media are provided herein for a cryptocurrency system using human body activity data. And where are they going to get this from? Well, they're going to have some type of technology embedded within you to be able to get this information. All right. And in order to share this information to the blockchains that they're talking about. All right. It says, according to various embodiments of the present disclosure, a server may provide a task to a device of a user, which is communicatively coupled to the server. A sensor communicatively coupled to or comprised in the device of the user may sense body activity of the user. Body activity data may be generated based on the sensed body activity of the user. A cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify whether or not the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system and award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified. So they're going to be reading, all right, your brain activity data, your body activity data, all right, and the way that they're going to be doing this is through that RFID technology that is already here. It's already set up. They just have to mandate it. That's what we're waiting for. All right, they actually show a video of an example of what they mean, which we're about to get into. And so, you know, when it gets a little bit more clear. It talks about figures and the drawings of how it's going to work, which you can actually just look into yourself. I want to just grab a few or a couple more points. So from here, I want to jump down and get to... Oh, and they actually go into how you can't even fake, you know, you can't fake what you're working because they're going to have patterns which measure, you know, if the task you were doing, if it required as much work that you were putting in. All right, and they've been working on this for quite some time. And once again, you can look into this yourself. But this is what's coming. All right, this is the cryptocurrency system that they've been talking about based on body human activity. All right, just remember that human body activity. All right, so let me see. I might have passed it. It was a lot to read. It's a little up. All right. So jumping down, I'm going to start here at where it says Operation 320 and 36. It says at Operation 320, when or after user 145, which is just the person, performs the task provided by task server 110, sensor 140 may sense the body activity of user 145. That is a body response related to the task provided by task server 110, and then transmit the sense body activity of user 145 to user device 130. Now, what is that device going to be? Well, we already told you, man. The body activity may include, for example, but not limited to, radiation emitted from human body, brain activities, body fluid flow, organ activity or movement, body movement, and any other activities that can be sensed and represented by images, waves, signals, text, numbers, degrees, or any other form of information or data. Examples of body radiation emitted from human body may include radiant heat of the body, pulse rate, or brain wave. Brain waves may comprise, for example, but not limited to, gamma waves involved in learning or memory tasks, beta waves involved in logical thinking and or conscious thought, alpha waves, which may be related to subconscious thoughts, theta waves, which may be related to thoughts involving deep and raw emotions, delta waves, which may be involved in sleep and deep relaxation, or electroencephalogram, which may be measurement used to evaluate the electrical activity in the brain, such as deep concentration. Examples of the body movement may include eye movement, facial movement, or any other muscular movements. Furthermore, brain activity can be sensed using the fMRI. The fMRI measures brain activity by detecting changes associated with blood flow. This technique relies on the fact that cerebral blood flow and neuronal activation are coupled. When an area of the brain is in use, blood flow to that region also increases. At Operation 330, which these are all examples, so this can be whatever they design you to do. So say you apply for a job at Starbucks, you get your chip scanned. So now you're gonna get your duties, pretty much downloaded onto this server that you're on. which I would assume is a Starbucks server, right? So you're now an employee, and then what's going to happen is they're going to assign you a task. You're going to get that task, and so let's say it's wiping down or washing dishes. They're going to measure, they're going to have a medium of people, right? So so based off of the average amount of time, average amount of workforce, body heat, and so on and so forth, pretty much how the average amount of work it required the people as a whole, put together. Say there's 20 people, the average amount of work it required by those 20 people, individually is what is going to take you. So say you were they assign you the task of washing dishes. It normally takes about 35 minutes. And so it's going to require you to work that 35 minutes. And then if you overexert yourself or you don't do enough work, they're going to be able to tell that based off of, your brain waves, based off of what we just read to you. That's what this is telling you. All right. This is why it's important to understand that this is what the world that we're leading to. All right. And so it says, at Operation 330, user device 130 generates body activity data based on the body activity sensed by sensor 140. Operation 330 may be part of a mining process, which is a process for solving a computationally difficult problem. One exemplary embodiment of Operation 330 is shown in Figure 4. As shown in Figure 4, Operation 30 may comprise Operations 410 and 420. And so it starts to get into other things, but pretty much, all right, they're gonna be measuring the amount of work you do. They're gonna have control over whether you get paid or not based off of the work that you're doing. They're gonna be able to tell whether you were lying about the work you were doing or not. All right, they're gonna be able to tell if you took an extra break, an early, extra long break, a short break. They're gonna be able to tell what you did based off of the human body activity that is being measured. All right, and they're only gonna be able to measure this, all right, if everyone is on the system and everyone accepts that RFID hit, man, that MOTB. All right, because, which I'm going to go ahead and move over to this video. It's about 2 minutes long. It's not too long. This explains part of what they were talking about.
My name is Jack Gallant. I'm a professor of psychology and neuroscience here at UC Berkeley, and my lab works on vision. That's our main focus is on the visual system.
So just keep in mind, this is how they're going to be able to read your brainwave activity. They're going to be able to tell everything that's going on. Essentially read your thoughts is what they're looking to do. Okay.
And vision's a really important thing to work on because humans are very visual animals. And when humans have damage to their visual system, they're really incapacitated. And natural vision is a lot like watching a movie. So essentially, we were trying to build a model that describes how your brain responds to movies. So if the external world is a certain kind of movie, we want to be able to build a dictionary that will allow us to accurately predict what the brain activity would be that would be evoked by that movie.
So you hear that? They want to have a dictionary that tells them what certain brain activity is telling them. Now, this was 13 years ago. So just keep that in mind, man.
And then given some brain activity, we want to be able to reconstruct the movie that you saw. So on the left here we have a movie that we showed a subject in the magnet. And on the right we have a brain. And you can see the brain activity is painted here on the side of the brain. But the brain's kind of crunched up in the skull, so it's hard to visualize. So we kind of inflate it and then we flatten it out. And we can see a flat map of the visual cortex and the rest of the brain as the person watches the movie. The problem here for us is to translate between these movies that occur and this pattern of brain activity that occurs. And in the study we talked about in our paper, we just modeled this very back part of the brain, the early visual system, primary visual cortex. And that part of the brain responds to the little local features in the movie, little edges and colors and pieces of motion and texture. But this part of the brain doesn't know anything about what the objects are in the movie. First, we put people in the magnet for several hours, and we show them movies, and we build a model of their brain. And then in the second part, we put them back in the magnet, we show them new movies, and we measure their brain activity, and we decode their brain activity in order to reconstruct the movie. So on the left here is the movie we actually showed people, and on the right is our reconstruction. When the movie that we showed has a fairly common object like a person, our reconstructions are actually fairly accurate. But when the movie that we showed is something rarer, as you'll see in a second, like this abstract thing, then our reconstructions are coarser. Not really so much over here, I guess. I think you'll be able to use this kind of technology for communicating with people who can't communicate, like locked-in patients or people with neurological diseases. I think you could maybe use this in some forms of psychotherapy or dream analysis. I think there's a lot of potential clinical applications for this. When this model worked, we were very happy because it was really quite surprising that it would work at all. We're only taking snapshots of the brain every 1 or 2 seconds, and our reconstructions of movies happen at the movie rate. So that's much faster, and there's no reason one would think that this would work. And in fact, most of our colleagues just told us this would never work. So it was pretty surprising and satisfying when it actually worked.
So there you go, man. All right, this is the world that they're moving towards. So with that, I pray I didn't take up too much of your brothers and sisters' time, man. We'll end it off here in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, and I'm gonna start at verse 27, and it reads, or Salakia, 29, Salakia, 2nd Ezra 13 and 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, because they're not going to expect Yahushua to return. They're not going to, even though you have the prophets out on the highways and hedges warning the people, we're posting our lessons on YouTube, man. We're telling you of the things to come. They're blinded, man. They're not going to understand. And in fact, they actually fight against it, tell us we're wrong and whatnot. Hey, we'll see. All right. Hey, we know we're right, but to you, we'll see. All right, verse 31, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And this is what we're seeing, man. These nations starting to fight against each other. You got these people going fucking batshit crazy. All right, excuse my French. All right, they're getting more and more out of control, man. You got YNs just killing people for no apparent reason. You got fathers killing their children and their wives and then offing themselves. Suicide murders is what they're calling them, man. You got animals beaching themselves. Okay, you got these different nations getting ready to go to war. All right, so it's a lot that's going on, and so we see that these are coming to pass. So it says 2nd Ezra 13 and verse 32, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have won against another. This is going to be going on during the third woe. And it says, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. And so they're going to try to overcome Yahushua by fighting. But what? He's going to win, as we read in Revelation. All right, that he's going to, they try to overcome the Lamb, but the Lamb overcame, right? It says, verse 35, but he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Sion, and Sion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. And why is that? Because like the neighboring nations of Zion have seen the fall and the affliction of our people. All right, they're also going to see our salvation, as said in Wisdom of Solomon. All right, and it says in verse 37, and this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations. Talking about what? The missiles. All right, talking about the thoughts that these people, that these wicked nations have, and also ultimately the what? That chip. All right, and it says, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law which is like unto me. And so we know that ultimately Yahushua is going to overcome. He's going to destroy these different wicked inventions, the different wicked nations. All right, and he's going to put them under their heel, under his foot. All right, and then he's going to raise up the elect, the 1/3, all right, which are going to be joint heirs with him in the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, in the kingdom of heaven. All right, and we're going to be saved ultimately. None of what Esau has planned is he going to fully accomplish, even though he already is designing these things, man. We know that Yahweh Shai is not going to allow these things to happen. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is not going to allow these things to happen, man. So, keep your faith, man. Stay on your grind. Keep watching, because these things are happening. All right, and so with that being said, I pray that this lesson was edifying, uplifting of the spirit. And once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Till the next time I say, Shalom.